Hey yo everyone, I am Ignim, and this is the next episode in the Castlevania The Adventure playthrough. So, let's get to it. Okay, next thingy. Oh, I like the armors back there. Very nice. I don't like the fact that the game seems to be slower now. I was testing like some Game Boy Color games as well because I was preparing the... Oh, they move. I was preparing the shaders and shit, which is like kind of a pain in the ass, pain in the arse, because of the fact that the best new... Oh, it just doesn't fucking die with a single whip. The best emulator for Game Boy is the best emulator for Game Boy Color. And, oh, just... And the way that I store my runs is very specific, so that it is easier for me to organize them and know where they are in place like emulators and shit, utilities, shit like that. It goes, always, aren't you the boss? Yeah, you are! This is fucked up. Oh, there's the guy in there that showed up again. Fuck you! Whoever designed this location, like, fuck him. Bullshit. No, matter of fact, let's load back. Most of the problem is because of the whip being shit. Well, yeah, the way I store my runs, it's... I wouldn't say it's not orthodox, but it's just like of both ways that you can store runs, I store the second not as usual manner. Fuck off. User. And the problem is that when you save the shaders on RetroArch, you can either save it by core and the emulator and shit. And it is funny, like, because I speak these things as if everyone is understanding whatever the fuck it is that I say. I'm gonna save in here. Kinda risky though, but fuck him. Oh, jeez. No. Nope. We're saving here. Fuck you. So yeah, the way you save the shaders is in... Give me another tongue. Fucking hell. Don't hit me. Oh, thank fuck. Way easier. When you save the shaders, you can save it by game, by... Fucking really? You can save it by game, by core, and by folder. Thing is, the name for the folders that I use, the way I structure the rounds is like the platforms first, and then a folder named rounds inside, and then like folders for like folders named emulators, utilities, or whatever the fuck that could be specific to that platform, which is like, to me, it makes way more sense than just like having a folder named rounds and then having just like the platforms inside, and inside of the platform folders the rounds. Makes no fucking sense, to me at least, in that data organization manner. So, problem is, the way the RetroArch detects those folders is by name, it's not by paths. So, since both the folders for Game Boy and Game Boy Color are the same names, runs, they both are named runs, it fucks up the recognition and it thinks that both folders are the same. So regardless if I boot, you fucking... Fuck off, oh just... Regardless if I boot oh shit. I should have saved. When is it going to show up? In the beginning? Eh. Not really. Although the whip is fucked up now. But yeah, so regardless if I set if I make a settings, if I create settings for the shaders for Game Boy, it applies to Game Boy Color as well. And if I create for Game Boy Color, it applies to Game Boy. So I did like some other things to fix. It's not exactly a fix, but it just like allows me to have like separate things and I can load them faster. Not as... Ugh, fucking hate this section. I'm quite sure that you can't go all the way up. I forgot what I was explaining and why I was explaining things. There. That is fucked up. Nah, I think you're gonna load back from that one. I forgot why exactly I was explaining that. Oh, because I was testing, I remember now. I was testing, sheesh, that is like most conversations with me. Like, they are like that. It is like, if you've been, like, watching most of the videos, you're quite aware of the moments in which I start, like, getting to a subject and then I, for some reason, just suddenly stop talking about it and then I don't talk it, like, never again. Like, there's not a point in which I touch that same subject again. Because of the ADD. I just like I get sidetracked and there's... I wonder if I can... I mean, there must be a way to do this section where there's like, why did I do all this if not to have the whip? So I was testing some Game Boy Color games to see if the shaders were like working fine and shit, and they work like considerably fast compared to this one. The second one though, it looks way better. Works. Although that fucker's going to shoot another one, and I'm not going to be able to dodge it. Yep. Because I'm dumb. I'm gonna fall for it? No. If I don't stay as close, I can hit him, regardless if he comes from up or down. I hate having to play like cautiously like this. Fucking hell. No, fucked up again. Like, there are some games in which like playing cautiously like this like makes sense. For example, Dark Souls. It makes sense for you to go like slow and shit, because like every single corner you can make can have a fucker that can annihilate you in a single hit. Especially if you don't know the bump. Especially if you don't know the location where you entered. Why do I not save after like finishing these hands? I mean, I presume those are hands. They kind of look like hands as well, even though they have teeth and shit. I don't recall seeing this enemy in any of the other games though. I think it's kind of a substitute for the skulls that throw fire at you. There's no fucking way it is. Like... Gotta save in here, fuck that. Longer whip helps. No! Oh, thank fuck. But yeah, the Game Boy Color has way more... Fucking hell. Has way more performance. It's way better. It's a shame that it can't be due to like having accuracy. You either increase the accuracy of the emulator or... Fuck off, you're not coming here. You either increase the accuracy of the emulation or you make it so that the... This is dangerous. Yep. You make it so that it is better to play. Although it won't be as accurate at that point. Fucking hell, mate. There we go. I actually should save it here. So that I don't need to, like, do this fucking dumb platform shit. Come on. Can I do it? I can. Oh shit. Oh fuck. It's not enough time in my brain. Sometimes I wonder... I mean, my reaction time is definitely like slower than it was used to be when I was younger. Fucking... But I don't know exactly how lower it is. Because I don't have a comparison. Because for example, it would be easy to get a comparison if I played a lot of... It works. If I played a lot of FPS games and shit, I had recordings, oh fuck me, I had records and shit, it would be like very easy to compare. But with regular games, not as much. I mean, this is not as hard, it's just like a pain in the ass because of the spikes. But yeah, sometimes I wonder how... Ooh, almost. How bad am I playing a game because of my possibly reduced reaction time? Which I don't exactly know, mostly because when I compare to my reaction time for other, like regular things, it didn't change. It's still the same. So I don't know. Can I hit those candelabra up there? It's not a candelabra, it's a... What is the name of it? I forgot the name of the thing. The thing up there that holds candles and shit. I know the name in Portuguese, but I can't remember the name in English. There we go. Get hits. User. A saving here maybe? Sure. Oh fuck, that was dumb. Let's keep on going. Oh ho ho, there's no way. Oh, I see. You just go, jump, and crouch. Fucking. See, that thing. I don't know if the problem is my reaction time, or if it was like the fact that the response time in the emulator is low. Because I can't just like do certain quick like changes. They don't fucking work. So just standing at the tip of the thing doesn't fucking hurt me. Oh, that was... Oh, it works. Come on, get up. You can only get up on the thing if you jump, then. See, I don't know if that one was a problem with my reaction. The fuck? With my reaction time? Oh, that one was because I accessed the menu. That one is on me. I can recognize when things are my fault. Which is weird, because most people can't. Like this one. Completely my fault. Me being dumb. That was the problem. Oh, fucking hell, there's no way that I can kill this guy before he kills him. Yep, there's no way. Not with that whip. Fuck. But yeah, I still find wild the fact that most people don't take, what is the... take responsibility for their actions. It's just like, what the fuck, how? Like this, like being dumb and just like going straight up into a spike like a dumbass. Like how the fuck is, like, is there people that when they do something wrong, they start like complaining, just no, it was something else, it was not me, it was whatever the fuck, and they start like making excuses and shit. I hate that because when I'm trying to explain something that I might have done, that I did, but is like, for example, not something bad or whatever the fuck, but the person interpreted as like being a bad thing or whatever the fuck, and then I try to explain why the person might be wrong, or if because she interpreted in a different way or whatever the fuck. The person, it's like every single time. Everyone just says, oh, stop making excuses. It's not an excuse, it's a justification. A justification is very different from an excuse. But because people are used to people like making excuses for shit, I have to pay the price for like every single person like creating excuses to justify their fucked up actions and shit. Oh, that was... oh, that was way too fast. Oh, there's no way. I'm gonna go in there with the fucked up whip. Although if I had like more health, it could be not as bad, I guess. But I fucking hate... It is something that I get very pissed about. Having to pay for other people's shit. I didn't... Just because you are used to other people like behaving like complete pieces of shit, doesn't mean that you should expect that I will behave in... Just fucking... I'll just... No. Undo save state. I think that's it. Then I can... What? I don't understand. You should have... Unless he kept the image. Yeah, he kept the image. But the save is different. But I fucking hate that. I fucking hate the fact that I need to... Whenever I'm trying to justify something, people like think it is like me trying to create an excuse or whatever the fuck. Because other people do that. It's not towards years up there. I shouldn't pay the price for other people doing bullshits. It is mostly... It is the fault of like everyone in a way involved. Because, for example, I'm trying to explain the thing. I'm trying to justify something that someone might think that it's like a bad thing or whatever that I did. Let me see if I can find an example. It would be way easier to explain this with an example. Oh, I always think that it's going to fucking show up earlier. Like this one. Let me take up an example. Maybe I'm too close though. Oh, it's this one that is fast. I still have kind of the whip. Not as powerful though, but still have it. I don't know, for example, let's say that I arrive late somewhere. And then when I reach the location, then I start like saying like, oh, sorry, I showed up late because something happened and whatever the fuck. I am explaining why I am late. Most people like start thinking that I'm creating excuses for why I am late. Which, no, a justification is not an excuse. That is not the same thing. But the problem is, because of people that do that, and so it makes it so that people get used to that kind of behavior. Is there going to be something up there? Yeah. people get used to this like shitty behavior. And at the same time, it is defaulting the person that assumes that I am creating excuse just because she's used to people that create excuses in those situations. It's just like, I am not at fault in here. I'm just trying to explain something that happened and give a proper justification because I am a decent person. Is this Dracula? Oh, it's just, if it is Dracula, like, it's just like, this is going to be an ass game. Because it's pretty much almost dead. It's not that hard. It's just like, very repetitive. If I just... I'm quite sure that I can find a location in which I can stay in there, like, indefinitely, without getting hits. Here, if I can shoot the fire. Yep. Not anymore. Although I can just stay in here. Because he shoots in diagonals and straights and whatever the fuck. Oh, that is a problem. Yep. It is a problem. Oh, there. Yeah, he's dead. Oh, it is definitely Dracula. He has a face too, the asshole. Oh, just... of all things. I said before in the beginning of the game, if the bat was Dracula. Very much it is. When the fuck should I attack them? But yeah, I fucking hate that. Fucking hate having to... Because when I, for example, when I take those things into consideration, I always think, did someone do that to me before? And if there is someone that did that to me before, should I, like, is it, what is the person's fault for that? They have nothing to do with the person that did that thing before. Shit. So why the fuck should I make them accountable for something that they didn't do, that some other entirely different person did? At this... I explained this to people before, and certain people just replied as if it was a wild concept. That why would you not use your past experiences with people to dictate how you... Oh, it's not as hard as I thought. How you behave with like people in the future. It's just like, that's easy because it's not the same people. It's not the same person. Why the fuck should I... for example, that would be bonkers. Oh, it's just a single hit from dying. It's just a single hit from dying, I think. No, it's 2 hits. There we go. Complete the game. That's it. That's like, what, 1.5 hours? Maybe not even 2 minutes tops, I guess. Easy. I mean, I like the fact that it was like kind of fast. I mean, I was expecting for it to be like a little bit fast, but just not as fast. It was what, 3 levels? How many bosses was it? It was the first boss, the armored dudes, and then the second boss was the... No, I think it was 4 bosses. Although I don't recall which ones. I mean, I don't recall the second one. If I recall correctly, the third one was the flying thing. Or was the flying thing the second one? Was it 2 levels or 3 levels? I see the fucking ADD attacking. Pain in the ass. But yeah, the whole thing about if that made sense, that is why sometimes you see like people going, like when you like try to talk with someone on the street or whatever the fuck. I mean, regardless of where you try to talk with someone, and then the person replies to you with anger or whatever the fuck. it was because someone made that person angry before in the day, or whatever the fuck. Or whatever reason that the person might be angry. Most of the time it is because of that. So, why? Just like, for example, I could... Let's say that I have two persons around me. And I am like fighting with the person in the right, and I'm speaking normally with the person in the left. I'm going to have a very different, in the same space, I'm going to have a very different behavior towards the person that I'm fighting with, and towards the person that I'm just like talking normally. It's like, it would, from the outside, it would seem as if it was like two entirely different people, like in the behavior. Because I don't see a reason why you should like treat others because of what other people did to you like previously. It's just like, it makes no sense. You should for example, use previous experience to prevent like people from fooling you and shit like that, but just like regarding how you treat people, that makes no sense. Especially after I worked with user support. There was a user that called before, and then he screamed at me or whatever the fuck. I end the call, I start another one just like after it, and then I talk with the other person as if the previous call didn't happen. I remember people say to me, how can you get so calm? Why didn't you fight with the other person before? Just like, yeah. Just like, why are you so calm now? Just like, because why shouldn't I be? So, enough about that. Interesting game, although I don't exactly like the fact that it was like all those slowdowns. I don't know if that is a problem with Game Boy games as a whole. It makes sense in a way, because if you look at it, the Game Boy is mostly a calculator that wants to be something more, because it's mostly it. It's not that strong. It doesn't even have color. It only has it doesn't even have a backlight. Even the Game Boy Color didn't have a backlight in some models. But at least the Game Boy Color seems to be like way faster, because I mean, at that point it was like more a game console, and it was more of a gaming handheld aside from the Game Boy, which was it was a game handheld, but it wasn't like a let's say built to be one in a way, even though it is. It kind of sounds bonkers what I'm saying, but it makes complete sense. At least in my head. Because there was like, what was the previous thing before the Game Boy? It was the Game & Watch, if I recall? I don't remember if that is the name of it. I'm gonna fucking put something in there. But I'm quite sure it was the Game & Watch. And then afterwards they made the Game Boy. So it was, if I recall correctly, the story, the Game & Watch was created because I forgot the name of the guy as well. Fucking name again is in the screen. The creator of the Game & Watch, he was looking at like some other like Japanese people playing with their calculators, and they thought about, wouldn't it be interesting if there was a game that you could play, like a portable thingy? And then, if I recall correctly, he created the Game & Watch, which is like very simple things, like way fucking simple things. And afterwards, after creating it, like especially because he had the idea with a calculator, why not create a more powerful calculator that can run more complex games and that could be programmable with cartridges instead of like having the Game & Watch is like the game is built into the screen. You can only play the same game in the same thing. There's no way to switch and shit. So if you look at it, it's pretty much like an overpowered calculator. The calculator that could. The little calculator that could. But with the Game Boy Color, that was like this is like we made a calculator that could play games, and now we need to make a game console, a game handheld. And it's like way better, miles ahead. If the Game Boy didn't have the same success, I don't think it would be. They would like make so many changes to the Game Boy Color. Well, it's just like compared to the previous Castlevania games that I played. This it is simple. I mean, it makes sense because it's a Game Boy game. It's very simple. Although you could argue that there's Pokemon on the Game Boy, and it's like not simple, but still, it's a platform, and it does what he aspires to do. I don't know. I can't say that I like it, but I can't exactly say that I hate it either. Because if I just look at the current moment, it is a shitty ass game. Because look at all the games that you can play, it just like doesn't even compare. But if you look through the lens of someone that was back then, this is like a very good game for a portable handheld. It is. You could like have some considerable good hours of fun. I don't see the replayability on it though, unless there's like secrets and shit that I didn't find. And it's almost as if the game wasn't developed by the previous things, or even directed by the same people. It is as if someone explains what Castlevania is to a person, and that person tried to replicate a game that looks like Castlevania. It behaves similarly, but most times doesn't. But it is nice to have played it. The fact that the whole experience of like looking similar to a Game Boy, and mind you, this is the shade, the fact that it looks like a Game Boy. If you don't exactly know how these things work, or if never used RetroArch or whatever the fuck, I am seeing exactly what you're seeing right now. It's not just a thing that I place in during editing the video. It's just like I'm seeing exactly the same thing. But it's nice. I like it. I'm looking forward to playing the second one. I hope like that there's like some improvements, especially with the speed. If it doesn't run as slow as this one, it will be like very good improvement. And if it behaves like the previous Castlevania games, it would be even better. I like as well the fact that the UI is very minimalistic, and the fact that there is no sub-weapons. It is a good thing as well, because you don't need to worry about which sub-weapon you need to get, or if you need to keep that one, or whatever the fuck. It simplifies the game in a manner that makes it more enjoyable in a way. Because I don't know which game started like dropping the sub-weapons when you pick them up, but like they do in Symphony of the Night, in which, like, for example, pick up a new weapon, you test it, see if you like it. If you don't, just like pick up the older one that you had. But until it reaches that point, I don't think there's going to be... I don't exactly like the sub-weapon system. Interesting show about... I don't exactly like him. But yeah, this was... I think that's it. There's not much to be said about the game. It is simplistic, enjoyable back. I mean, I think it would be enjoyable back when it was released. Now I'm looking at the fucking thing right now, and the forest down there. It almost looks like there's a ladders hidden in the foliage. But yeah, not much the same, as I said. It's good having played it. It's interesting to see how it was on the Game Boy, the experience of it. But not much aside from it. There's not that much in history. Like the story of it's just just not even like couldn't. I don't think I even could say that there's a story present. The previous ones like didn't much, but at least they tried to maybe tell a story through the levels and shit. And this one, like, what can you say? Like, what is? There's nothing to be told about it. But yeah, that's it. Castlevania: The Adventure. I'm gonna eventually play the second one, and hopefully it is better. At this point, I'm just like repeating myself. But yeah, gotta go. This is the end. And that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and I see you next time.